Hola, Taboo Breakers. Bienvenidos a Taboo Talks Latina Edition. Yo soy Cynthia.
And I'm Jeanette, and here at Taboo Talks, we keep it real, raw, and rooted in nuestra cultura. This is a space where we shed silence, speak on the truth our abuelas were told to hide, and celebrate the stories that make us powerful mujeres.
We break cycles, honor our voices, and amplify the mujeres changing the game. Lo que nadie quiere decir, we say it here with heart, laughter, and healing. Today's guest is a mujer on fire, a rising bilingual artist whose music is bold, faith-fueled, and rooted in cultura.
We're so excited to welcome Cynthia Diaz, aka La Cynthia, a proud first-gen Latina from Los Angeles with roots in El Salvador and Honduras. Through her reggaeton and Latin pop, she's using her voice to uplift our comunidad and remind us soy Latina y más, because Latinas can do it all.
She's creating her own lane in music with heart and unapologetic power. Cynthia, welcome to Taboo Talks Latina Edition. We are so happy to have you here with us today.
No, thank you for having me.
So excited.
so
We
excited.
love your song, by the way. We've been posting it on a couple of our posts. No sé si lo has visto.
Yes.
But we've been using it first to support you, but also because it's so powerful and it's what we need. So thank you. Thank you for that.
No,
For
of
everything you
course.
do.
And I see the support. I see you guys supporting me from the beginning of this journey, and I'm so happy to finally have the opportunity to be here and talk with you guys. And I love everything that you guys are creating, that space for Latinas to come and, amplify each other's voices. And that's why making music and making music for Latinas to feel represented is definitely something that draws my attention, and my heart is in it, and I love it.
So beautiful. We love it.
Yes, we love it. And before we jump into the music, we want to get to know you, the mujer behind the music. Who is
Mhm.
Cynthia behind the visuals, the lyrics, and the fire sound? Tell us your story. Tell us your journey up till today.
So my journey is one of those stories that if I had 10 hours to tell it, I would tell it. I'm gonna say it's short and sweet. But basically I started doing makeup first right after high school, and I decided to go the creative route. I feel like God put me through the behind the scenes of music to be able to be in this position right now. And I've gone through so many different hardships regarding like family and like growing up with a single mother, and just growing up with, my mom moving us from when I was 12 all the way to El Salvador, and had to learn education out there and just try to live again. And then she decided a year after and was like, no, like I want to go back to United States. She decided to take that journey upon herself, and for my better future. And here I am in LA now, and it's been, I think, like almost 12 years now. Yeah, no, maybe like 14 years now that we've been in LA, and it feels like I was meant to be in LA. It feels like I found myself in LA from being a child that moved so much to now like finding myself in a city where I saw so much culture, so much love, so many people that look like me, so many people that talk like me, and it felt like a safe space growing up, having to translate for my mom, having to do all these things, and to feel like we finally found a place where God placed us and we could grow. When it comes to the music and how I got to that, it was, it was something that I needed to find my voice. A lot of times I let people speak for me. I let a lot of people walk all over me. I let people kind of tell me how I should live my life. And when it came to making music, like finally felt like I had my voice. I feel like I can speak for people that feel in those positions as a creative or as a human being or as a Latina, that you aren't too much and you do belong in like any type of area that you want to, pursue.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. And does anybody in your family have music background?
No, nobody
Crazy,
in my
right?
family. Nobody in my family. My grandma, she's very conservative in El Salvador. So it's kind of like my mom, I feel like my mom's kind of put me on to music. She's always singing in the car, and she's always like, she put me on to like that, like Christina Aguilera, Selena, all these like artists, and she'd be singing her art out. And I feel like she kind of inspired a little bit of that like itch. And I feel like Disney Channel and that Hannah Montana era, like
Yeah.
how are you
Yes.
gonna blame Gen Z for wanting to be a pop star if we grew up seeing pop stars in front of us?
That is so true, right? Like, I feel
Yeah.
kids now, it's more about being influencers and content creators. But like our generation, because I also grew up with music, right? That's always been my passion, singing. I was influenced by wanting to be like a star, a pop star, right? So it's so
Yeah.
crazy. I couldn't agree with you more. That's
See your
so
name
true.
in shining lights. Like, what do you mean? Bruno Mars said it. Why can't I say
Yeah.
it?
Yes, I love that. And what was the moment that you kind of felt like this is what I want to do? Like I want to pursue this singing career because you did share the other day you had a seizure, you had some health issues when you started your music career. So can you take us
Yeah.
on that journey?
Yeah, I actually started my whole music career 2025. So this year I decided, and it was kind of like influenced in a sense of I need to found another outlet because the old passions that I had were like makeup, and I would do photography and all these things, and I would do it for people that didn't appreciate it, and I feel like I was abused by all that like creativity and just being pumped out, and I didn't get a time to like really be myself. And so with music it was a new thing, like it was a new outlet, it was a new thing that I could express myself. I could do those things. I could still do visuals. I could still do makeup. I could still be myself, but do it for myself and pour into me. And I feel like I was pouring into a lot to other people. And my boyfriend, who is also my producer as well and artist, his name's Dirty Sosa. He's helped me through that journey and helped me find myself in the music. He is the a key essential to just allowing me to be myself and get comfortable with music. But with the health issues, it was definitely a scare. Music has been a scare. I think this whole year has been a scare. But I think if there isn't that, you're not growing. And I feel like I've really grown as a person. And the seizure does get me a little emotional because it's like so scary because you think like, oh, that can't happen to me. Like that can't like, oh my gosh, I'm healthy. Like, and I think I got to a point where I was extremely stressed. It was not about music. It was something from the past trying to creep up on me when I'm trying to find a better future for myself, and that stress, that pressure of just like, oh, they're creeping back up, or all these things. It was just a lot in my head, and I think like I realized that mental health is so important. What you consume, what you allow people to come into your space, into your peace, and and then my body just gave, and then I like after that I had just released my music. Like I had just became like an artist that week, and instead of allowing it to break me or like to make it a sign, I felt like it was like, okay, I need to go harder, and I need to realize I need to prioritize myself and my health and my mental health and who I'm allowing, and just giving it to God. And I had to not drive for 2 months. I had to stay still for 2 months. I had to really be there for myself. And it was definitely changing. It was changing for me and for the people around me because, I think if I didn't have that time to be myself, I don't think I'd be the same person I am right now and able to speak and like know a little bit more about who I am or what I want, or if music's really the route I want to go. And even more now, like I feel so much more passion for it and so much more love for it. And just seeing all the people that are giving me love and not knowing what's going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
is like it's really beautiful because I know that everyone goes through their struggles. Like I know everyone like does their thing to try to show up for themselves, and that's all I appreciate, like just the moments of just showing up for yourself. And yeah, no, and I had to go to the neurologist and all that, and it was like being in rooms that I didn't know I was ever gonna be in, and it was a lot, but I'm grateful that I'm healthy and I'm here, and I'm excited for whatever's in front, like in store.
Honestly, thank you for sharing that
Yeah.
because I know mental health and when it comes to the things that we've been through, it's hard for us to speak about it and be open about it. And like you said earlier too, it's like this was molding you. And I've said this before, and this is something I go by is life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Right. And we don't believe that in the moment because we're like, why is it happening to me? Especially you're so young. Like I would only think that would happen to somebody older, right?
Yeah.
So it's those thoughts that we put in our head, but also thinking that we're the only ones, like playing the victim, right? The fact that you put God first and you said, I'm going to push through this, it speaks a lot about you. So we're grateful to have you here, but also for you being a voice because somebody out there is going through it and they're dealing with mental health, and mental health is something also we don't speak about and we have to be louder about.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's something very powerful, that I feel that we should be louder about, which is why we're here. So thank you for speaking up about it. Now, we're curious, what are your thoughts on visibilities for Latina in music and media today? Because I feel there's so much missing, right? What do you think that's missing and what is it that we can do to shift that?
Okay, that's a really good question because I feel like that's like a core thing that I feel like when it comes to music and when I'm creating it and when I think about like, what it felt like growing up and not seeing El Salvador in mainstream or seeing Honduras in mainstream or seeing Central America in general in mainstream and feeling like it is like it could be possibly pop culture. And I think being Salvadorian and Honduran American I can help and bridge that like gap that I feel like a lot of first generation girls are waiting for that moment to feel seen, to feel heard. And I think when it comes to the music scene, I definitely see myself in a different lane from the reggaeton lingo. I feel like we need more uplifting words for ourselves as women in music and just know that, you can make it cool not having to say a certain word, certain theme in the song, like, and just finding that like new creative like love for the music and feel empowered, go into the mirror and feel like you can be that girl. You can like do anything you want. And yeah, that's how I feel about like that misrepresentation in music, especially Central American and just like any other country in general. Like for making Soy Latina the song, I know that so in the past I've done like other Latina like looks and like brought people together in the same type of way, but this was the first time I got to do it with music. And I know that there was gonna be a mistake because I'm human, okay? I'm just gonna say it. And I accidentally said Costarricense and I said it wrong. It's just like little things like that, but it's also opening the conversation, the topic, to people to learn like these other countries because a lot of us don't know what Belize flag looks like or Bolivia or their colors and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I think it's cool to like open that conversation and just shine a light to other countries. That's my goal. And just like, be representation, whether it be me saying it out loud or me stepping into a room that you guys know, like, oh yeah, she's representing us in a good light.
Yeah,
And
because
that's
we
what I
need more
asked
of that.
God. First, I asked God for that. Like, I can't do it. I'm just human, but I asked him to help me with that.
I love that. And if you can manifest something together, what would your dream collaboration or project look like?
Dream collaboration? Ooh, I love Cardi B. Like, I
You were
love
right to
her.
telling Jeanette. I was like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna say Cardi B.
Yeah.
I love her. I honestly, since 2018, I have been following her, watching her music, everything, and just the way that she's unapologetically herself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what anybody says, like, she's a human being and just trying to expect people to be perfect, but she doesn't care that she's not. Just even, like, it's nice, and I like it, and I love when she speaks Spanish. I love when she raps in Spanish because it's like she's repping that side, but she's still being herself, and I don't know, I just really love her.
Yeah, well, we're gonna manifest it because it's gonna happen, and we're
Yes.
gonna reflect on this date and time. It's happening.
Right, right, it's gonna be
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah. So
No,
you
that would be
hear that,
amazing.
Cardi B. Cynthia's
Yes.
coming after you.
Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps. That's gonna be amazing.
No, it feels like I don't know. I've always felt like I've gotten so close to like getting like in the same room as her, but it's like not happened yet for some reason.
Yeah.
But just her even following me on TikTok and her showing love and seeing that I started music, it's like it's really cool. Like she got to see me before I was doing music and now to making music and showing love now is really
Well, that's gonna be amazing. So when the time
Amazing.
comes, you guys will have a story to share, on those
cool. I know.
interviews, on the launch of the song, right? So that's what's gonna
Yeah.
make it more powerful. We cannot wait. It's gonna be
Oh
amazing.
my gosh.
Now, we
That's
know,
gonna be
right?
so cool.
My God, it's gonna be great. We're manifesting it. So we know that this path, right, isn't easy. Was there a moment, which I'm sure you've been there, where you thought about giving up? Of course you did, and you're here today, but what helped you keep going on those moments of doubts?
I think about the sacrifices that our parents do to be in this country and the way that they had to live life and the way that we're privileged enough to think about having a dream or pursue a dream or pursue education or pursue whatever we want to pursue because they they came here and they let us, as an immigrant daughter, it feels nice to know that my mom can see me see a different path for me because at 22 she had me and I can't imagine having a child right now and trying to figure out in a country how to like build a life here and it I feel so honored to be able to take a different path and show what you can do with that that like having that inspiration in your life and I couldn't imagine what it feels like to like not have my mom in my life and see all the things that she went through and be a part of those things at a young age and have to be a second mom to like my little brother and like all these things that made me mature like faster and it made me think okay well I want more for us so I'm gonna go for the stars and that's how I feel and I feel like you look crazy or you sound crazy because it's like oh like it's never been done in your family or it's never been done in around you so it looks impossible but I can assure you it is not impossible and that is why I keep going because among with all the hardships all the self-doubt all the moments of like oh, is it even worth it or I'll do it tomorrow it's like it's again that theme of like showing up for yourself and it's not easy. No one tells you it's not going to be easy. Nobody tells you how hard it is to start something and to really believe it because you got to be the one to believe that it can happen before
Mhm.
anybody else to believe in you. And so, that's how I feel like I haven't given up because I've seen where I was and to see where I am now, it's like, wow, if I would have stopped, I don't know like where I would be. I don't even know if I would be happy right now. And I feel so happy that I'm able to do what I want like in my life and like the things that I love. And that's a blessing because, it takes a lot of courage to believe in those dreams and those visions for yourselves and those goals. And so, I applaud anyone that keeps doing it. And like you guys are doing it. Like you guys are sitting up, setting up your camera, doing a podcast. Like
Thank you.
that's like you're showing up for yourself, for that vision, that goal that you have for the podcast or your life. And that's what keeps me going because I'm like, I'm not alone in this. Like I know there's people out there that want better for themselves. And so I'm gonna keep going too.
100%. And I
Wow.
applaud you for that because I
Yeah.
feel that we tend to, depending on our background for our family, right, where we came from, what they've been through, and say, well, I'm passionate, like in your case, about music, but nobody in my family is. So what makes me think I'm going to be a singer, right? So it's changing those thoughts and really saying, I'm going to break the generational patterns and the curses.
Yeah.
And like overall, I'm going to rewrite my story. And that's what makes us powerful, right? Because now is the generation of us really thriving and rewriting our stories and reminding others that, we can walk in our own path. Just because our mothers or abuelitas didn't, they brought us here so we can.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for that, for recognizing that, because we could simply just say, this is not for us. It wasn't in my family. It's not in my blood. But yes, it is because we can rewrite
Hmm.
that story.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Your mom, you spoke a little bit about your mom. What does she think about you and all you have accomplished? Because I'm pretty sure she's 100% proud of you.
Yeah, no, she's definitely like one of my biggest supporters since whatever I do, like she's always been there, always bringing me like my flowers, always like showing love. And you know, as I think as a daughter, like the eldest daughter, it feels that pressure of like, oh my God, like I need a stable job, I need finances, I need this, I need that. Like I don't want her to worry, like, cause it's like always worrying, like this, like,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel like stress. But then I have to like step back and I have to be like, wait a minute. Look at what you where you're at right now. Like look at where you guys were before. Like look at us now. And it feels really nice to, you know, in this new journey of music and see her support me and show love. And you know, I know she's still I know it hasn't hit her all the way because when I show her things, like even I've told her like in the beginning, I was kind of nervous to show her like the first music video I did. Cause I was like, "Oh my God, what is she gonna say?" She's gonna be like, "I don't know."
Of
Like,
course.
what's that?
Typical.
Like, you're gonna embark on this journey, and
Yeah.
I think, you know, she's told me before that she's proud of how I don't give up and how much I believe in myself, and she admires that, and it feels nice to hear that from my mom because I've seen her just grind and work, like, and still grind and work to this day, and you know, I get that like passion and that work ethic from her, and I'm very proud to be who I am and be shaped by all those experiences, but also let go of some of the things that, you know, aren't for me. You know, I have to know that. And I have to know that okay, I am different from my mom and that's okay and I'm way different and you know, there's things that I do have from her and you know, she's very excited and grateful and I just want her to see success in life, see me in that position and I think that's what she wants to see too. And she knows it's for me and she knows how much I've worked for it. So, you know, as a mom, like I know she's proud and thank you for bringing that up because sometimes I'd be in my head and I'd be like, "Oh my God, does she think like?" But it's just because of
Yeah.
that mentality of like that pressure. Like nobody talks about that first generation pressure
Yeah.
of like you have to like be better and like you have to have this and that and it's a lot. But I'm
Yeah.
grateful for where I am and where I'm at and just her she is proud.
Cynthia brought it up because that's something that we talk a lot, especially for in Taboo Talks, right? Like, we can't blame them because I'm sure that they were trying to follow their dreams. I'm sure that they had a lot that they were carry on them, you know, all the weight, all the stress, the anxiety, and they still show up every single day because they had to be there for us, right?
Yeah.
But here we are to like, again, rewrite our story and step out of that comfort zone and letting them know, like you said, this is how she is, but there's things that I'm going to take and things that I can, right?
Mhm.
And that's why we're here for that generation, which is so powerful. And is that reminder that we can break those barriers because I feel like we keep leaning towards like our parents, well, they did this or they didn't do that. So what can I do? No, it's time to rewrite that script.
And I love that. That's why I asked you because I always like to remind the guests in this scenario because their success or their thought of success looks very different than what you're pursuing. Like you said, you're the first one in your family pursuing a music career, right? So,
Yeah.
like you said, when you show her, she's like, ay, otra vez, doing something else, 'Cause their success is so different, right? They think, just finish college, graduate college, and just get a 9 to 5. But you're doing the opposite. You're like, no, I'm gonna go into the music industry. So I'm so glad that that was like a little reminder for yourself too, right? Of how much you've accomplished so far.
Yeah. No, thank you. And just also you mentioned music industry. I want to be far away from the music industry. I've seen the ugliness of that and I've prayed on it and I want to create my own little community, big community actually of, you know, supporting women and whoever enjoys the music, whoever enjoys the world I'm creating and that's more like where I want to go in that route of I want people to join this world that want to be a part of this creative world and just let that like old like mentality of I need this money, I need this label, I need that. I've seen it all and I've seen how it's not all that it looks, it's not all that it is. And I'm just so grateful that I can do it independently. I have someone that supports me who does music independently as well, and to be able to show Latinas you can own your music, you can own your art, you can own your creative, anything it is, anything, your graphics, your shirts, your this, your that.
Yeah.
You can be the owner of it. You don't need anybody to validate your ownership or put money in it or any of that. You can partner with people, but keep your ownership. It's yours. It's what God has given you. And so that's all I want to voice real quick.
I love it. Yes.
Yes, we love that. And we know your song, Soy Latina, which we love, by the way, goes beyond lyrics. What does that phrase mean to you personally, and how do you embody that every day?
And it's just like to be able to give that experience for myself. And also, I know there's other girls that have, hearing Guatemala or hearing Nicaragua. And it's like, what? Like they said our
Yeah.
names, and and that gives me joy and that gives me happiness. And to have a woman do it and a Latina do it. And it feels nice because I feel like men do it and then they like throw in like some physical part of us and it's like wait a minute, whoa, whoa,
Typical.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like hold on, hold on, hold on. So it's like hard to listen sometimes because like it's crazy, like as you get older you like listen to lyrics more, and I feel like I'm a person that really pays attention to what's being said, and I love a good song that has a good beat and blah 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 blah. I'm not saying like, oh I don't listen to, but I'm just saying like I listen and I pay attention and I'm like okay, well I don't like how you represented Latinas there, hold on, so then let me make this. So then I made it, and Soy Latina, um, Soy Latina y Más Productions was definitely created before I started music because again, I was trying to find my voice. I was like, "Oh, why have people told me so much in the past that like I'm doing too much or my attitude or this, I speak too loud or I'm too happy, I'm too this, like how come this and that?" Like and be like, "Oh, Latina this," or oh, you can't bring in that Latino da 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 da, like all these things. It made me feel like being Latina was too much. And that's why I was like, hold on, like why are you making me feel like me being me is too much? And
Love
that's
it.
when like, you step back and you're like, wait a minute, well, that's you. That's what makes you you. And so when I made Soy Latina y Más, it's like Soy Latina, but I'm more than just Latina. Like I can be more than that. I'm not just someone who, like, how people in the media right now, like, oh, they're your workers, they're this or that. No, 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 no. We can be your teachers. We can be your this. We can be educated. We can be so much more than what you say we are. And
Yes.
we can be in front of your TV. We can be the main character. We can be the director of your favorite movie. So it's
Yes.
just like things like that like, that's why Soy Latina is like important to me because it's like, no, it's a reminder to people and to girls like you can be who you want to be, and that's why I'm pursuing this like my dreams have always been like the first thing I think about because I'm like, no, like I can do it. Who says I can't? And I feel very blessed that I can see myself in that light, and it's like I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like that every day. Like there's like,
But
are
we
you
all have those
sure?
days.
Yes, we have
Are you
those
the
days.
same girl that's saying soy Latina? Are you the same girl? But it's just like we're human, like, and
Yeah.
I can't expect myself to be on all the time. And people can't expect me to be on all the time. And I feel like with soy Latina, it's a beautiful reminder. I put it on, and I'm like, yes, we did that. I don't care if it was 10 people that heard it. I don't care if it was 100 people that heard it, or if it's the whole world that heard it. I know it helped somebody, and it helped me in that moment, and I feel very happy that like girls are finding out about it and posting, and I get happy every time someone uses it. Like I get happy every time likes a post or something, like showing support, because I see that I'm like, wow, like this is so cool, like and to see it become an idea to like, and I'm not gonna say the Carol G thing did inspire it a little when she didn't mention like all the countries, and the conversation started up, and it was a conversation that I had already talked about representation, and then that song comes out, and I'm like, bruh, you just proved the point again. Then I
Yep.
was like, okay, like I need to do something about it. So then that's why You know, like, why do I have to wait for someone big to do it? Why can't I be the voice of it? So then that's why I did Soy Latina. And, you know, bringing all those girls into the video was very important and key because I wanted people to know that we look different. We all look different. We all look beautiful in the ways we come, in our shades, in our hair color, in our hair texture, in our heights, everything, like everything, our backgrounds, but we're all one and the same. And that's why
Preach.
it feels so nice to have done that. And to see and that's why giving like voices and amplifying and what you guys are doing for me and vice versa, like that's what I want to do like for the rest of my life. And just like make girls feel good, like make people
Yeah.
feel good, you know, not just Latinas, but like the world feel the love of Latinas and appreciate us for who we are and not make us feel like we are too much or we don't belong, because that's not true.
Ooh, drop the mic. Everything you
Yes.
just said. And even when
Work done.
yes, and to go back for the Karol G, you were right. When her song
Mhm.
came out, I was, like, singing it in my car, and then I'm like I'm going back like, "Hey, la cubana?" Like, you know, like, in my head, I was like, "Why
Mhm.
not Cubans?" I mean, obviously, I get it, you know, she probably only had that, limit of how many people she can say, but I did have that in my head of, like, what happened to Cubanas, Dominicanas, everyone else, right? So,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Love
Yeah.
that. We love what you created. That's why when the song came out and we started following you, I was like, we have to have her on because I think
Yes.
our visions align, right? And I think you released that song when the Latino community was going through a very hard time.
I That's crazy that you mentioned that because it was God's timing because it was planned. It was planned a week in advance. We already put the song in, like, you know, in the system to like come out. That week I did the video and I did the video the week that ICE went crazy in LA, which still is and nobody is talking about because the media is trying to filter it out. But that hit, like, just that whole thing, like, it was very, like, in a moment of, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing is this too much? Like, should I be, like, trying to be, like, celebrating us right now? And then I had a moment of, like, wait a minute. What do you mean? Like, we should be even louder. The
Yeah.
crowd should be louder and give voices to those that can't right now. And so that's how I felt in that moment. And when we were shooting that, it was in the middle of a hotspot, so it felt like God protected us with like a bubble. I don't even know how to explain it, but it
Oh,
just felt like nothing could come in between what was happening in front of that camera. And all those girls had such a good time. I had a good time meeting everyone. There's a lot of girls that I just met that day and it was nice. It was nice to, you know, they were telling me like we needed this like in time like right now, and it just made me feel good. Like I'm like good. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys had a good time, and it helped me too cuz you know, with everything that's going on and hearing like people like, "Oh, I don't want to go out, like, you know, I have to go and get groceries for my parents." Like it's so sad, and I've experienced like ice in front of my family, and it's such an ugly feeling to be like dragged out. Doesn't matter what you're wearing, like just as a woman see my aunt get like dragged out of her house and like not even dressed, and it's just like it's horrible. It's a horrible thing to see, and we are human. Like everyone is human, and God made us the same, and there should not be division, and it's such a ugly thing to see. And yeah, I don't approve of any of that, and I just want
Thank
to
you for
amplify
being a voice.
Latinas and feel like that love and know that we're still fighting no matter what.
So powerful, so beautiful.
yeah. Thank you for sharing because I know that's why I was like, I know it wasn't done purposely, like the song with what was happening. It
No,
just,
it
like
wasn't.
you said, it just happened. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you didn't give up. And that was your thought. You were like, no, this is a moment where we have to be louder, right? Because
Mhm.
if you stopped the song from being released, you kind of were like, giving them credit and kind of proving the point. And it's like, no, we have to be louder. So
Mhm.
thank you for that. And
Yeah.
we're all about legacy here. So when people look back on your art and on your voice, what do you hope they remember? What do you want to leave behind?
I want them to know I want them to look at whatever I leave behind is like, "Wow, she did not stop. That means I can do it too. I can reach those heights too. I can even do more than that." Like, I want people to feel inspired. I want people to feel motivated and, like, seeing people message me motivates me even more. Like, seeing people show love motivates me even more because as a human, I still need motivation. I still need inspiration. Like, I'm not somebody that just, you know, uh, like, is good all the time, and it feels nice to, like, be seen and be heard, and I want people as well, vice versa, when they hear me or when they whatever whatever the experience, whether it be visually, lyrically, anything, feel seen and heard and like have a moment with the music, connect it with something that, meaningful for them or a cool experience or they're like experiencing their first like I don't know, big check, and they put my song. Like it's just moments like that. Like I hope to be a part of, and that's what I want to leave behind.
Hmm.
That is beautiful. And how do you see the future of younger Latinas artists coming up right now? And what advice will you give them?
I think the future of young Latinas or Latinas in general that are gonna get into music is, there isn't one look, there isn't one way to be, there isn't one way to act. And I think that we can shape that. We can show that we can be more than just body. Like, I feel like we can be
Yeah.
like, and hey, like all the girls with like bodies that look good, like I'm not here to like say anything about that, but I'm just saying like I want us to like, I think that's what I'm taking on is like I want to show that like I'm a normal girl that loves music, loves like making visuals, and I want you to feel like, oh, I can be like her too, like, or feel empowered, or I can dress like that too, or hey, wait, I got that dress from Ross too. And it's just like, it's who I am. And I think that I kind of lost myself in the question. What was the question?
No, but that's what makes you special. This
Yeah.
exactly is what makes you special. There's no right or wrong answer. There's not like a script that you're playing in
Yeah.
your head of like what I have to say. Guys, you know what? What was the question again? And this was why people admire you, they respect you, and they love you because
Oh,
of
thank
just
you.
being you, right? Like we need more of that, especially as an artist and everything you envision and all your dreams and hopes and what you stand for. We need you to be louder on that, which you do an incredible job. And we love this because that's what people can relate with. And they're like, oh my gosh, I finally feel that somebody can see me and understand me.
And of
Oh.
course, before we get into our fun mini segments, what is one taboo that you are still trying to break? An example, like for me, right? One, I guess something that I grew up hearing all the time. So my background, my parents are Dominican. And one thing that I heard all the time was like mental health. Like you didn't talk about that. That was like hush hush. And
Mhm.
if they saw someone getting therapy, they were crazy. Like, I heard that throughout my childhood, like, therapy, eso es para loco, like, there must be something really wrong if Cynthia goes out and seeks help. If you're depressed, you're bored. Like, ponte a limpiar, that means you're bored. So those are, like, kind of
Mm.
taboos, just certain things that we heard growing up. And then that's why we created this platform because we want other Latinas to voice these taboos that they also grew up hearing and kind of amplify them and break them together. So if you have something
Okay.
that you grew up hearing
Mhm.
and you're still either trying to work on breaking or you've already broken.
Um, I think a taboo would be mm, being told to take the safe route, being told to like, pursue something practical, go get a practical license, go take a 6-week course and start selling houses, or it makes really good money, and actually you should get a license for this because I heard so and so is doing it and she's making so much money, and it's like those taboos of like what you should be doing because others have done it and they've seen it work. And back to what you said, like our parents only see a limit in the success of how much they've seen and
Right.
or heard. And I think when it comes to that, that's what I'm trying to break. I'm trying to break that. No, I didn't need to go to college. No, I didn't need to go and do that 6-week program to survive. I didn't need to go and, give myself to a 9 to 5 and just, say that that's it. I'm happy. I can pay my bills, but I'm check to check. Like, no, I want more for myself. And that's what I'm trying to break.
Yes. I
We
love
love that.
that. Yes. Okay, let's lighting it up for a quick lightning round. So, just gonna ask you 3 questions, fill in the blank with the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Ready? Being a Latina artist means
Being powerful.
So, are you a sneakers or heel girly?
Sneakers.
Yeah, same, sneakers. I think Jeanette too, right? We agreed.
yeah, I have my balance depending on my mood, but yeah,
Yeah,
sneakers
yeah,
most of
yeah.
the
Give me
time.
a good
Yes,
high heels.
yeah,
No, 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 no.
Like I'm the one that goes to parties with heels, dressed up to events, and then I have my sandals or my flats already
yes,
waiting for me in the car. So any
Yeah.
minute that I can just swap.
Yeah, instantly regret when I put on like some like 5-inch heel and I'm like, no, 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 no. Like this is just for a photo or whatever, like video or whatever. Get these off. Give me my sneakers.
I know, me too. Us too. Okay, last one. One thing your younger self wouldn't believe you've accomplished.
Become a music artist. Like once she literally, I feel like she would be so. I don't want to cry. Like,
yeah,
no, no. I feel like she can't. I don't even think she knows what she's gonna become, and I think I want to tell her like, don't stress. Like, I was the type of kid that was trying ballet and trying soccer and trying all these little things and like to be able to be here now and to see where I've ended up, it feels really good and very exciting and I've never felt so at place before and so like this is it like this is what we're gonna do and this is where it's gonna go and I see the finish line and I'm just so grateful that I'm here and able to speak to you guys and it's probably 4 months in, but it already feels like I've been 4 years in, and I'm just so excited. And, little me is very proud, and I want to give her a hug every time I think about her. And,
oh,
I think about, all of us were kids at one point, and that's funny that you bring that up because I thought of that yesterday. It's like we all have that still inner child. Like we were little kids at one point. And, we just have to be kind to ourselves and just remember that we're all experiencing life for the first time and like all these choices that we make like no one told us how to no one told us these were this was going to happen that was going to happen but it's just those risks and those things that we take on that make us who we are and I'm so grateful to be here to
That's
be
beautiful.
I
yeah.
love it. Ok, ahora sí. Time for la tía chismosa moment. La que siempre tiene algo que decir at the family gathering, right? She would probably say to you, ¿y tú crees que cantando canciones te va a dar de comer? Or she would say, ¿y por qué tienes que ser tan escandalosa? If you can see the woman you've become today, sharing your music, sharing, all your lyrics and standing tall in your truth, making noise in all the best ways, what do you think she would say about the you today?
Growing up I didn't really have family around me so it was just my mom and my brother and I haven't had experiences like that with an aunt or with an uncle like that. Maybe an uncle, actually an uncle, mi tío José, el que, el que me agarra la nariz and me dice like gran nariz and he's very supportive though, but just to like for someone and anyone in my family, I guess they would have I think they wouldn't believe it. I think I don't even know if my grandma from El Salvador really knows what I'm doing right now. Like she tells my mom
Pretty
all the
crazy, right?
time like decirle que agarre un trabajo, decirle que haga esto, decirle que se pinte el pelo un poquito más normal, que ella se viste así, ya, que te ayude ya, like ya tiene que crecer, ya no puede estar con las mismas sueños and blah blah blah, all these things, and it's just like, stop, hold on, like, I have to recognize like the life choices she made, the life choices my mom made, and these are the life choices I'm making. And one day my kid is gonna be like, whoa, that's what my mom did. Oh, and I
Yes.
think about that. I
Yes.
think future like family, and I want them to be like, I want them to feel like empowered and feel like, whatever they decide to do with their life, whether it be like go to college, I'm happy for it, or whether you want to be like someone who invented the first toilet that's all pink and it sparkles when you flush, like, like it's just supporting. And I'm very grateful for my family who, whether or not they're supportive, whether or not they care, whether or not they even know what I'm doing it for myself and for the family that, that comes behind me and in front of me, so I'm excited.
And for the one after that,
And
yeah,
the
Yes.
one
to keep it
after.
going.
Yes.
I love that. And of course, before we wrap up, where can our listeners follow you, stream your music, and support your journey?
Yes, so you can find me on Spotify, Apple, everywhere, YouTube. My artist name is Cynthia Diaz. Reason I chose Cynthia Diaz is because I feel like for a while it was hard for me to like people would say my name and I wouldn't believe it. And now I'm kind of like, hold on. Diaz is my last name. Cynthia is my name. Like, I'm going to embrace it even more, and like to hear it and to see it on things, like it's a different feeling. And my nickname is La Cynthia. It just happened. Like we were making music, and it was like, okay, I need something that, like, every reggaeton, like Daddy Yankee has DY and Bad Bunny has Bad Bunny Baby, and like all these people have like their like
Yeah,
little
so true.
taglines.
Yeah.
So I want something that's like I say it and I'm like, oh, this is fun. So yeah, La Cynthia is like, but you can find
Well, I
me
love it.
on,
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
love it.
You
No,
see
I
myself singing it when we put it on the post. I'm like, La Cynthia.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like
yeah,
saying it myself. And so I love it because
yes,
it's very, like, it
It's
gets you,
catchy.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, catchy.
yes,
So,
yes, yes. I love it. And um that makes me happy. Like it's funny because now people when I answer the phone, like the other day, my friend was like, I said, "Oh hey," and then she was like, "La Cynthia," and I was just like, "Oh," she's like, "I've been waiting to call you and say that." Or like there are people like, "Oh, I've
I
been
love it.
chanting La Cynthia," and it's so cool. Like it just happened. But yeah, you can find me on all social medias as La Cynthia Diaz, and on music platforms and anywhere else is Cynthia Diaz.
Yay. No, we'll
Yeah.
for sure include everything on the show notes as well. Cynthia,
Okay.
thank you for showing up with heart, for pouring into our comunidad, for being a voice, especially for so many young Latinas that I know they can see themselves being the person that they want to become thanks to you and being heard and being seen. So thank you so much for saying yes. It means a lot to us as well.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. And to our beautiful taboo breakers, let this be your reminder that you don't have to fit in any mold to be powerful. Your culture, your voice, and your story are your superpowers. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Y como siempre, chicas, we'll see you next time on Taboo Talks Latina Edition, where we keep breaking cycles, breaking silence, and breaking taboos.